determined to improve his game.
So started playing a lot, started finding the courts around. My brother-in-law made it down here, and he was a big basketball fan, so I started playing with him and really learned the game from him.
But just as Tim was coming into his own as a basketball player, his life was about to take another tragic turn. Shortly after being diagnosed with breast cancer, Tim's mom passed away the day before his 14th birthday. Tim was shocked and heartbroken.
Sometimes in our culture, people don't like people to know that they have cancer. It's something you keep quiet. And so we respected that. But so the boys just stayed close to him, and they just played ball and kept him company, but they never discussed his mother's illness and death.
Timmy grew up an awful lot when that happened. He realized what life and death was all about.
I think it changed me a whole lot. It maybe solidified who I was, how I thought. I kind of quit swimming once my mom passed. It was I don't know whether it was because it was something I did with my mom or whatever that relationship was. It was a time around Hugo, so it was a lot of different factors, and it was just time to move on from that.
Now, more than ever, Tim dedicated himself to basketball. It was his father's turn to help him meet this new challenge.
At first, he didn't know if I was serious about it or whatever the deal may be, so he wasn't really into it. And then he really became a kind of a student of the game. He would call me and say, "Hey, are you watching this game or are you doing this?" I was like, "No, I'm not watching that. Why are you watching that?" He grew with basketball with me.
His father installed a hoop right where the post is. And he would play here with his friends, and his brother-in-law, who was very interested in the game and gave him moves that he could improve his skills with.
But playing ball in his front yard would only take Tim so far, so he headed to the playgrounds in search of better competition. And in St. Croix, the best game is found in the projects.
This humbling setting, as you may see at the beach side, is Ralph D. Chabert Court. This is where everybody met and everybody showed their stuff and, played out their game and show off their skills.
We'd bring a team in there and to play a team from around there, people didn't like us, didn't want us to win, so it was always a challenge to go out there and play.
And he came in with a team from D.C., and when he came in, he was like a scared little young fellow. So I had to take him on the side and tell him, Timmy, as we used to call him, he's the biggest man on this court right now. So you just go out there, show your muscle, and nobody gonna trouble you here because you got potential. We gonna back you.
So that got him that respect that he, to be a suburb kid or a kid from outside the projects.
As his game got better, his reputation grew around the islands, but Tim was still unknown to major college coaches in the United States. Once again, fate would intervene.
They had this team playing, and I got a call from a friend, and there was like, these guys are from all over, and Alonzo Mourning's a part of the crew. And of course, we're all like, oh, let's go down there and see if we can play. And they asked me if I wanted to play in the game against them. I played in the game. I did all right, and kind of recruiting started from there.
Tim was no longer St. Croix's best-kept secret. He attended Wake Forest University, where he quickly developed into one of the top players in the country. By the end of his sophomore year, the NBA came calling, but Tim had other ideas.
I know my dad promised my mom that he'd get us through college, get all of us through college. And when I had the opportunity to go and get a scholarship and then had an opportunity to leave, I didn't want to leave because I wanted to end my college career, get my degree, and kind of be done with that part of my life and kind of fulfill that promise.
Tim did fulfill that promise, and he's proud to have lived up to his mother's high standards. His work ethic not only helped him become one of the best basketball players of his time, it also allowed him to overcome adversity and to grow as a man.
Coach Odom always says water finds its own level. That was one of his sayings, and that's just how it works. You just find your way. One way or another, you're going to find your way.
Yes, man, we're here and we're talking about St. Croix, the big island in the Virgin Islands, and we love it. You wouldn't believe how many people all over this great nation never even heard of the Big Island.
Promoting the Big Island is something Tim takes very seriously. The past 2 summers, he teamed up with childhood friend Rashidi Clements to host the Ballers Weekend.
For our MVP, Tim Duncan!
This is where it's at, man. Sunshine, pretty women, good music.
This game on town and stuff, you know what I'm saying?
Different culture, great food. Hey, not coming would be rude.
Rashidi's incredible. He's really kind of the heart down here. He really keeps it together, and he's a big part of what I do down here.
Tim came, he played in the Celebrity Beach Volleyball game, and it seems like he fell in love with it in the first year. But, you know, we really wanted to give the kids an opportunity, you know, and we decided that from the very first one that if given the opportunity to do it again, we would include a clinic.
We're gonna do a little bit of shooting now, all right? So you guys gotta really concentrate on getting your feet set. Uh-oh, slow down. Good shot, good shot. With one hand, you wanna finish high, and you wanna finish with your hand aiming at the basket, okay? Good job, good job, good job. Come on down here, come on down here, come on.
Spending time with kids is important, but Tim's support doesn't end there.
This floor that everybody's playing on and everybody's enjoying this game was donated by Tim Duncan and the Tim Duncan Foundation, and this is what allows for this kind of competition here.
What most of us love about Tim is his humility. He is a person that has put forward his best, and we all love him for that, and the kids love him, and all the people.
I'm not trying to put an image out there or trying to answer questions that people have about me. It's just kind of what you see is what you get. There's not too much more to it.
But there is so much more to it. Growing up in the Virgin Islands made Tim Duncan the man we see today. The old courts might be overgrown, but when he comes back home, Tim still hears whispers from his childhood.
It's fun to see it, and fun to see that's how much it's changed, and it's so different now. But to look back, I can still see it as it was.
Now his old school is closed. It shut down for financial reasons a few years after he graduated.
They're all locked up.
Today, the schoolyard is a silent reminder of the quiet boy who grew up to be a star.
Almonds. It's an almond tree.
It's a thought so unreal that even Tim has a hard time believing the journey he's taken since leaving the Virgin Islands.
Not in my wildest dream. Not even when I got to bigger Timmy did I imagine that. So every day is kind of a dream for me, and it's a blessing every step of the way. And that's why I enjoy it so much.
The crowd going crazy in San Antonio, and San Antonio wins the NBA championship. The confetti coming down.
He has been an outstanding Crucian, Virgin Islander, West Indian. I'm sure that when he decides to retire, he will have his place in the annals of history. There's no doubt about it.